Things have been a little crazy lately with Fallon's brother smacking her in public, her mother jetting off to get another facial reassignment surgery, and her dad getting arrested. So yeah, she deserves to skip traffic and work from home. All that, and Adam is looking very forward to working underneath her. Ooh, awkward, but don't worry, privilege still has its privileges. We are talking CW's Dynasty, Season 2, Episode 21, Thicker Than Water. The AfterBuzz After Show starts right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Good intro as always.
Well, you know what's good? Your outfit. I have to say, you might win the Where You At. You
Really? I got this. I wanted to wear it today to be like, it's kind of reminds me of Kirby or like Fallon maybe.
Okay, they're two very different people as we get to find out today.
Fashion
even though we saw a lot of similarities in their actions at the end of this episode, as we are talking all things CW's Dynasty, Season 2, Episode 21, Thicker Than Water. Today's breakdown will include Fallon and the Commissioner, Adam and the coffee, Sam and the puppies and the boat and the settlement and the billions. What? Crystal and Culhane, Dominique and Blake play brother and sister. Kirby and Culhane play doctor. Fallon and Liam play best friends. Crystal and Blake play family. Dominique plays mommy. Crystal plays Miss Flores. Anders plays fatherly advice. Anders plays dad. News and gossip special segment, Where You At? And some predictions as we head into that season finale next week, and so much more. Let's begin with your overall thoughts. Maddie Pox is in the building today, telling us all.
I'm here. I'm Maddie Pox. Happy to be back as always. This episode, as always, was crazy. Big plot twist with Blake, obviously, and Crystal. I was not expecting that.
Oh my gosh, best part of the episode. I was like, oh, I'm so happy.
I was like really looking forward to her leaving Blake just to see what would happen.
You're a bad person. You're just a bad person.
Just to see what would happen.
That's not ride or die, okay? Ride or die, she's willing to stay. She's from a family of ride or dies, and they set that up beautifully, and it played out so well because all of us at home believed it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm supposed to be at Carrington. I should be with it. But I was looking forward to, not looking forward, but kind of interested in seeing her actually leaving him. But obviously that didn't happen.
Well, Crystal doesn't leave Blake, and that twist at the end is amazing. Of course, they play Bonnie and Clyde to the T. I'm going to say this, and in case you're wondering, I am your host, Tehran. As we talk about this panel, my overall thought is the last couple episodes have been so fire. Like, I am very much looking forward to this season finale. And I'm actually looking forward to next season. I want to see season 3 already. I was engaged. Look at how many things happened in this one episode, right?
Yeah.
How many things broke down? Let's Dominique and Blake have this secret that we need to figure out.
That's going to come out next episode, I'm hoping.
Maybe not. I don't know, because now Dominique's conspiring to conspire against Blake, but with Blake, I don't know. Then the Crystal, okay. Kirby's looking amazing, first of all, okay? Can we just say
she
Kirby?
Looks good. She's wearing
gosh.
She doesn't need the makeup. She's wearing a little bit of makeup, though. She has the killer outfits reminding me of Fallon. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, they now are both
killing Fallon. I think she's on it. When she wore that little dress with the blazer, the little skirt, I was like, wow, okay, Kirby.
And the glasses.
Oh my gosh.
It's like every man's dream.
Yeah, she was. And the only person who I dislike at this point, I dislike Culhane. I dislike Colby and disdain Culhane.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing everything right, and I'm on board all the way. I'm having a good time watching, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Now, let's talk about Fallon and the Commissioner. Fallon basically has to take the place of her father, Blake, because he's in trouble with the FBI. We start off with him in the jail cell. He's housed in number 35, and then, of course, he has to ask Fallon to go to the meeting for him in order to keep the Atlantics, because it is a hostile takeover on the part of Colby and Culhane.
I can't even imagine being her and sitting across from my ex-boyfriend. and being like, "Are you really gonna try and take my dad's company?" Like that
Your
is
ex,
bizarre.
who's also a snitch,
Who
also
used to be your driver,
who betrayed your family. And listen, I don't know why Cole Hain has this grudge against his family. Like, I understand you didn't feel that you were equal, but technically you weren't. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's not like you made it on your own valor, and then everything you've gotten is from the coattails of this family. To be very fair, I understand Kobe. Kobe has a dislike of Blake in the family because of everything that happened with his family and his mom and their legacy.
Right.
I understand that. And on top of that, with Blake's involvement of putting his father in jail and all of those things, Kobe has an actual reason. But Cole Hain? What is Cole Hain's motivation?
I don't know. You know, they haven't really even said to his face, "Hey, you used to work for us, and now you think you can take the company." They kind of have, but not really. And I thought they'd be a little bit more straightforward. Like, we gave you this. I mean, they shouldn't throw it in his face, but
Yes, they should. Yes, they should throw it in his face.
Yeah.
You were the driver. I let you sleep with my daughter. Then I gave you untold amounts of money and you became wealthy on your own right.
Yeah.
Then I gave you a position that you didn't actually qualify for within an organization and a percentage. That means you had managing and ownership rights.
Yeah,
And
it's just
this is what you've decided is the best course of action?
it's strange. They haven't said anything.
With the guy, by the way, who betrayed you in the first place,
Yeah.
Kobe. Let's not act like Kobe and Cole Hain. And on top of that, when Cole Hain takes his moral high horse, it's like, Cole Hain, have you seen yourself in the mirror? The things that you've done? The Ada Stone thing? All these things are still very much a part of who you are, Cole Hain.
Oh, man. Well, they're a team together, and it's kind of scary to see.
It is, but I'll say this, Fallon handled herself like a boss in that room. She spoke up, she spoke out, and she spoke well. And she did all three things and got her father's company. It could have went either way, especially in a situation like this. She spoke up and held no punches. And also, she had to deal with Adam the whole time.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. I am scared to see what happens in the season finale with him. And okay, so when he dressed up as Fallon, what did he do?
When he went into the office.
Yeah, what did he do? We're going to find out, I guess,
he was setting something up. He was setting
episode.
something in motion, and it has to do with the paint in the building. And it seems like Colby knows, but we're not sure.
Knows.
I mean, with Fallon, I think Blake is doing it wrong, seemingly putting Adam ahead as the protege, even though his reasoning is correct when he said Fallon's connection to Cole Hain, and you couldn't be sure. And we had to handle this right, and it did seemingly work out. But you are driving a wedge in that Carrington family, Blake. Be careful. Because honestly, no matter what, as much as she complains, Fallon has been there for you. Maybe you should listen a little.
I don't think he has a good perception on who is good and who's bad. Like, he just kind of brushes it off. And then when it's too late, he can obviously kind of cover it up or pay them off or something, but he just has no perception of what is good and what's not. Like, he literally takes everyone in. Look what happened with him and the new Crystal, you know? Like, she just kind of showed up, and now they're, like, married or dating or whatever.
Yeah, but this new Crystal seemed to work out. I'm so
Yeah, no,
sorry.
it
She's
worked
had his
out,
back in
thank
many ways, and
God.
everyone thought she was a gold digger. But let's be real. She definitely comes from money on her own. She came from a very powerful family. She does not need their money.
Yeah, but
She
initially we
actually
didn't
loves
know
Blake.
that.
She actually loves Blake.
Yeah.
And that concept of who she is, she's been, and honestly, even with the twist of this, the reason why I was so happy was because I like Crystal so much, and if she became a FBI informant as well, and threw Blake under the bus, even though she was put in a very difficult situation, let's be real, let's talk about that Blake and Crystal situation. For Blake to make it seem like he was going to blame her father for this, I can see where Crystal was headed. But then we find out all along that this was all part of the plan.
I know, they're smart.
So smart. They
I
fooled
was
everyone.
not expecting
especially
that.
us.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
And I thought Adam would have been in on this, like, little plan, because it seemed so, it seemed so Adam, but
Let's forget, like father, like son. That's
Yeah,
where Adam
like
gets it
father,
far.
like
The
son.
apple does not fall too far from the tree.
And do we think that he spilled the coffee on Fallon on purpose?
Oh, we'll definitely get to that. That's definitely a concept. That is definitely a concept. But when it comes to the concept of this plot twist, it was so strong.
So
Here we are watching Crystal. We see the car door being slammed into her leg.
I thought that was real.
It looked real. And I'll tell you something. She had a bruise, so it's a little bit real. And I will say this. I don't know if you've ever been in a Rolls. Something tells me that you have many a Rolls. However,
A Rolls Royce?
yes.
I think so.
Well, I've been in a few myself, and I will say this. There was a time, because of the way the door is, it's a little heavy, I closed it, and it did close on someone's arm one time, and it was not on purpose. So I felt for Blake a little when that happened, especially he was in a moment of what seemed like panic and frustration, and he closed the door. Crystal wasn't coming. They took all these pictures. They were rushing. He had shoved a photographer out of the car. I mean, there was just a lot going on.
Yeah.
And then he closed his door on Crystal's leg. I was like, ooh,
You're
it
like,
looks so
I
bad.
feel you, man.
I was like, I feel you, but that looks so bad. That looks so bad.
Yeah.
In my case, at least, there was no anger or
Right.
anything within context to make it look horrible. It was just a simple miscommunication with if the person isn't in the car yet. But with Crystal, it looked like, I hate you, B word, and closed the door.
Yeah, it was so real. I almost wish it was, but there's always a twist in this show, so I'm not surprised that ended up happening.
Yeah, there was definitely a twist. The door closes. I mean, everything looked very real, and then we get the plot twist at the end, which is Crystal and Blake had planned this. This was a plan in order to get everybody on board with their breaking up or going against, and getting Cole Hain on board, thinking that Crystal would betray Blake and go to the FBI, but went to the FBI instead in order to throw Cole Hain under the bus, which he deserves. He deserves whatever comes to him in that form.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Cole Hain. I don't like him anymore. I know you said you really dislike him now, and now I don't know how I feel about him and Kirby as well.
Yeah, but I will say this. He's looking better. He's looking so good. He looked great in the suit.
Yeah.
Kirby was right.
And Kirby looks good, too. And I can't believe that, they hooked up, and then it was Liam and Fallon, which we'll get to as well.
At the same time.
At the same time. What was that?
Yeah, that was a lot going on. But with Cole Hain, I mean, this person deserves everything that's coming to him, because had he just sat and played his role, he would have been where he needs to be. Patience is a key, especially in that. And it's an interesting question you bring up when you say, are Kirby and Cole Hain, should they be together? I want to know from all of you at home, do you think Kirby and Cole Hain, are we still shipping Cobain, or are we off of that? Are we off Cobain altogether? Let us know in the comments below, because honestly, you all are as much, if not more so, a part of this panel than all of us. We enjoy all of your comments, and we appreciate everything you do. We do ask you to do one little thing more, which is to share, subscribe, tell your friends, spread the word, share the love, let everyone in on this conversation that we have, because all of your favorite programs are our favorite programs too, and we love discussing them with you. And if you're listening to us on iTunes podcast, please give us that 5-star rating. We so greatly deserve. Comment. Let us get those shout outs in. Get us those comments. We love hearing from you. And as always, thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk.
Always comment, guys. We love to hear your output, and we need to hear it, and we respond to it all the time as much as we can. So it's always good to hear their input, output, whatever. So we want to know about what you guys think about this episode.
So we get a lot of Adam and Fallon in this episode, especially Adam pulling his Batman trick where he kind of just sneaks up and jumps into things and taking things out of context with his own way. He's very awkward when it comes to Fallon. Of course, there's a little bit of incestuousness, which we see from Adam's perspective. Fallon despises Adam, sees him for the snake that he is. We also see Adam and Liam get into a bit of a conflict where Liam straight says to Adam, I don't trust you. You may have everyone else fooled, but not me. And Adam threatens Liam. What did you think of that?
Well, okay, so obviously Liam catches Adam in Fallon's closet and he goes, I'm just returning some dry cleaning. I would take that up with Fallon. I thought he would go to Fallon and say he was in your closet, blah, 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 and he was borrowing your clothes or like returning your clothes, and she would have been like, what? What are you talking about? But
Also, when they hugged, it seemed like Adam put something in Fallon's pocket.
And
It
I
looked
feel like
awkward.
he's bugged the whole house, because how does he always walks into Blake's office when Fallon and Blake are talking. So he's just so creepy.
He's always
He
lurking.
definitely has some microphone or something he put on Fallon when they hugged.
Yeah, I mean, there's something there because they showed us the pocket, the camera pan, and we see his hand do something, but we can't tell. Hopefully we get an answer to that in the next episode. Do you think Adam spilled the coffee on purpose?
Oh yeah,
100%.
100%.
110.
How can we believe that he's a good person at this point? Like, he's obviously, everything is so calculated with him. Why wouldn't he spill the coffee?
I know. I love him. Here's the thing with the coffee. He's a smart guy. He would have read the memo and understood that it's not important. That's why I think he did it on purpose. And the trip was so fake, and he just right on her and ruined her next meeting, which was supposed to be with J.C. Remington, the author. You know, it's the Hunger Games meets Me Too meets AOC all in one.
He's so creepy. He wants to ruin her life, but he loves her. It's really, because he kissed her that one time. He just gets off on seeing her upset, I think. Just, I don't know what's
There's a part of him that hates her because she had the life that he never did. She had his life. He wasn't raised with his family because of the kidnapping.
Right. But he also likes her in a weird way, I think. It's
a interesting conundrum. It's an interesting conundrum when it comes to these two, especially with Adam's attraction for Fallon. It is very weird, and we love saying creepy. There is a type of situation where when siblings are separated, they tend to find each other. But this attraction that Adam has is going quite overboard.
Yeah, I'm a little scared to see what happens next.
Especially since Fallon doesn't reciprocate in any way. She's not even on board with you being in this house.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a very interesting concept. But you know who feels like they belong in this house and definitely does now because they're an instant billionaire? Sam. Sam and the puppies and the boat that he gets for Anders and the settlement that he finds out he gets. Well, we hear that him use the term billion, so maybe he's worth $1 billion now?
I want to know how much he got in that settlement. Do you think he actually got $1 billion, or was it multi-millions?
He said billion. That's the concept. He's spending money like he's a billionaire, which is also very stupid of him. The way he's spending money, Anders is right to be concerned.
He needs to chill out, and I love Sam so much. He needs a job, though. Like, he needs something. He doesn't have Steven anymore. So he doesn't have that not distraction, but someone to kind of keep him not on schedule, but with it. And now he has nothing. So he's just kind of putting it all on Anders. Yeah. And what does he do all day? He just wanders around their estate and talks to Anders.
Well, now he has a club restaurant in a hotel.
A hotel,
that he owns. Which actually, that to me was one of the smartest things. The fact that he doesn't know how to run it aside, the fact that he bought a successful hotel and is doing well and could possibly do well with it. That's good for him to have his own thing. Now, do I advocate people buying hotels that aren't for sale? No, probably because you don't get the best price. Do I advocate people who don't know how to do something doing that something at the highest level? No, let's practice first. Let's own a little cafe and then move our way up.
Yeah.
Sure. But if you have $1 billion, you have the money to make mistakes.
Yeah, Anders makes a point, though. He's like, you need a savings account. We still don't know how much he actually got. I mean, obviously, if you have multi-millions, that's great. But the way he's spending it, that's not going to last forever.
Oh, if he has $1 billion, that's a very different computational system of economics, right? So
Yeah.
people don't always understand how much $1 billion is, and I'll put it in perspective. If dollars were seconds, how many days would $1 million be? If instead it was seconds. So how many days do you think 1 million seconds is? Just guess.
I'm the last
Days,
one.
weeks, months, years.
One day. I'm kidding. Your face.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Just guess. That's the point.
Okay.
Of guessing.
Say that again.
So 1 million
A
seconds.
million
How long
seconds.
is 1 million seconds? If you had to guess, days, weeks, months, years.
A year?
1 year.
No, 1 year.
It's 12 days, give or take 12 days.
Oh my God,
A million
I'm an
seconds
idiot.
is about
I can't do
12
math.
seconds. It's okay. How long do you think 1 billion seconds is?
A year.
32 years. That's the difference between 1 million and 1 billion. Is that 1 million is about 12 days, a little more, and 1 billion would be 32 years in comparison.
Right.
So
Yeah,
if he has
$1
$1 billion, there's a different economic perspective he has to his life. And that would give him a lot of leeway. Now, that does not mean that there are not people that have lost and made $1 billion in a day. For
Right.
sure that has happened.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. And if he loses all this money, it'll just be infuriating. It'll be infuriating because it'll be, Sam, you had nothing, you got something, and now you're back to nothing. For what?
He got a lot.
A
$1 billion.
lot. You got the
He
luckiest-
can live off that for 5 years, or not 5 years, 5 lifetimes.
And I need to know who his lawyer is to be able to get him such a great settlement off of being married for a year.
Well,
Man,
I
with
know,
no kids.
what? That's unheard of. That's
That was
why I was
crazy.
assuming I was assuming it was probably just a couple $1 million, which is a lot, obviously, but to buy a hotel and to buy a boat and all this stuff, that's not smart.
Yeah, it's not
Didn't
smart.
realize it was $1 billion.
Anders gives the keys back, which is smart.
Very
Actually,
smart.
owning a boat is very costly. I don't think people
It
realize
is.
that. It costs a lot to own a boat. It's kind of like owning a horse. Sounds really good on
Yeah.
paper, but in real life,
Well, what is
It's a fortune.
I can't imagine Anders. He literally is at their estate every day, 24/7. What? He's not going to take a boat out.
I mean, by the end of this episode, it seems like he's worked himself to death literally because he
well,
falls down.
Don't say that he's going to die. I don't want him to
Do
die.
you think he's sick? Do you think he's dying?
I think he had a heart attack and he'll be okay. Hopefully, but we'll see. Obviously next week. I don't want him to die. He's
I
my
definitely-
favorite, I think.
Anders is definitely amazing. I mean, he is as much family as everyone else, especially
Yeah.
since Fallon's brother's father is Anders. You know, we should really draw a family tree to figure this all out because
Oh my
we still
gosh.
were like, so Dominique is Blake's half sister by her mom.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, wow, how does
like
all this
the-
play?
It's so incestuous, and there's 100 family members, I think. At
What
this point.
do you
I
think
don't
of
know.
Dominique and Blake? What do you think that secret is?
Maybe someone is someone else's. Like I'm assuming it has to do with children, because she's like, he kept threatening, "Do you want me to tell your children? You're the biggest liar," etc., etc. I'm thinking it has to do with, she maybe had an affair with someone, and maybe, I don't know if it'd be Jeff or his sister. There's another dad in there. Something
think-
like that.
I think it has a lot to do with her father going to jail and her being a part of that. Because why else would
Oh,
Blake
yeah,
pay her
I could see that.
to protect her secret? No, it's a secret that Blake shares something, and she gets a payoff, and it has to involve her children somehow. I mean, it would be crazy if we find out that her father was responsible with an incestuous relationship of their own,
Right.
responsible in some way. I don't know, but I think it has a lot to do with that. And Blake obviously is involved because Blake is paying Dominique and not the other way around.
Maybe Blake is Jeff's dad, actually. I'm kidding.
I mean, they're half brother, half sister. I hope that's not the case,
Yeah.
but
You
it's got to
never
be
know.
something big. It's got to be something big.
Yeah.
I can't even think. I'd love to know, all of you at home, what do you guys think it is? Before next week, don't write us next week and then tell us, oh, I knew it was this. No, you didn't. If it's not written in the comments, it's not proof.
Yeah.
So right now we're on a yes or no with Cobain. Are we shipping it? Yes or no? And we're also asking, what do you think the secret is that Dominique and Blake share? Because Dominique comes over after throwing Blake under the bus at Colby's, and then they have this conversation. And even though they're not friendly, they are civil, and there's clearly a business arrangement.
Yeah, and we're not going to forget about last episode where she
Has a whole
another family. So this definitely will come out next episode.
It has to be something. Has to
I'm
be something
excited.
big. It's a great
Yeah.
story arc. Kirby and Colhane. So we learned that Kirby actually ghosted Colhane and not the other way around. Kirby comes back, and her reasoning is, I didn't want to ruin things with Fallon, but now it seems like Fallon, who mistreated Kirby for sure in the beginning, and it seemed like she had a lot on her plate, but at the same time, you don't have to mistreat the person that's on your side, and goes back to Colhane. What do you think of this?
Well, I think it's weird, and I think that I think that it's not a good thing, because Fallon might pretend she doesn't care, but she probably does, especially with what is happening with her dad and Colhane against the whole family, and then that conflicts obviously with Kirby and her dad, Anders. It's a mess.
Fallon actually brings it up to Colhane. She's actually way nicer to Colhane than I would think after everything that's going on. She's actually treating him as a person. She's not mean to him. She wasn't cursing. I would be furious. I wouldn't be able to even look at this person. But
yeah, he's kind of being treated way nicer than I was expecting. Like, I thought that Blake and Fallon would kind of put him in his place and kind of say, oh, well, you used to work for us. We brought you into this, like we were talking about before. And now they're just treating him as, oh, he was a businessman before, which is like, he should be equal to them, obviously. But if I were them, I would kind of say, well, you used to be our driver and we really helped you get into this. Now you're turning your back on us.
that's a lot.
It's
But
crazy.
Kirby and Colhane get it on, and then we see Fallon and Liam finally get it on. Apparently,
Oh my God, finally,
they
yeah.
were just, and Liam has done. Listen, if anyone deserves some Fallon play, it's Liam. He's been there. He gets Kirby back on the team. He mans up. He says, "I'll help you out." He stands up to Adam, and then finally the dog comes, which I think for some reason Adam let the dog in the room.
Oh, for sure.
But then comes in, and Fallon says, "Okay, now all work and no play. It's time for some play."
Adam probably was watching as well. as they
Adam's
did
probably
it.
in the closet just watching the whole time.
For sure.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
God.
But we like Fallon and Liam, correct?
I do. I really like them. Way better than her and Colhane, I think, at this point. I don't like Colhane anymore. Do you?
I'm not a fan of
Not a
Colhane at
fan.
this point. So Colhane is off my list, but Kirby's still on it. Hi, Kirby. Let's talk some Crystal playing Miss Flores. That was a good performance. She goes in the FBI office and she's like, oh, Miss Carrington. No, it's Miss Flores. Sheesh, that deserves something.
Yeah. She's a good actress. And they fooled me the whole time. Honestly. I thought that she was leaving him. There's always a plot twist. They're sneaky. I like them together now that I've seen what they kind of did this episode. What do you think?
I mean, I love them. I love Crystal. This made me love Crystal so much more. I was actually
More than the
off
old Crystal?
I was so done with Crystal, and then Crystal comes back and is amazing, and she basically ride or dies for her man, and they come up with a plan that seems to be being pulled off, and the only X factor right now is how Fallon's going to deal with it, especially with Adam being so involved.
Yeah.
But even with Adam going into the building dressed as Fallon, it could have been for the information that Blake needed. That's what I think it was for. we got a bit of information as Anders plays father to Sam, gives him advice about spending. Did you think that was unwarranted?
No, I think I love Anders. He comes from a really good place. He's not spoiled. Sammy wasn't spoiled either. So he was just trying to knock some sense into him. And what happened to him after with the heart attack and whatever, I don't know if it's a heart attack, but I'm assuming. It's sad. Like, he was just kind of coming in as a father figure. And he's like, why did you buy a hotel? I would say that to anyone too.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to run one, but I feel like Anders feels responsible for Sam. There's no Steven. Here Anders is playing daddy too.
Yeah, and I was watching with a friend who had never seen the show, kind of, and they said, well, I explained the situation with Sam, and she said, well, why does this guy still live at their house if he's divorced from that guy? Like, what is he even doing there?
Well, he's still Crystal's nephew, and he's also still very much part of the family. And he's also Anders' a good friend, and he fits in. He's still a Carrington.
Yeah. But from the outside perspective, like, I think, Anders is kind of a father figure to him now, and Sam isn't close to Blake, it doesn't seem. And so he should really respect Anders' opinion, and he just totally offended him in that. And then, obviously, Anders leaves, and he passes out on the street, which is really sad.
Yeah, Sam went off on Anders and basically said, "You're a butler," which was such a demeaning thing to say. Like, you just got money yesterday. And I don't even know if Blake knows that Sam still lives in the house. It's such a big house, and they never interact. It's interesting. Interesting how it plays. And, of course, Anders plays dead, or at least has that stroke or heart attack or some type of ailment. We see that coming out. At the same time, we see Colby is figuring out that that Adam possibly did something to the paint in his office. We're getting those stories.
I hope that Colby finds out that it was Adam who put something in the paint.
What do you think he will be able to do about it? I'm worried for Liam's life at this point. And
yeah, like, that was really stupid when Liam threatened Adam, saying, if you're going to go after these people, blah, blah, I'm coming after you as long as I'm in the picture. I was like, oh my God, don't say that.
Well,
Liam, don't say that. Adam's crazy.
What makes you think you'll stay in the picture?
Oh, yeah, he's going to try and kill him or poison him or whatever's going to happen.
There's so much that can happen. As this show goes on, Dynasty, anything can happen. But one thing that happens each and every week is the outfits are happening. Let's play our favorite special segment game, Where You At, where we pick your favorite outfit of the show. Now, we love to hear from you. Let us know below your favorite outfits. As of right now, Maddie Pox.
Okay, I loved Kirby's red outfit. We already kind of discussed it before. And
was that when she wore the glasses?
With the glasses, yeah. It was a red skirt with a red blazer, really tight, and she was walking into the other publishing house. She was very sexy.
Okay, you win that one. That one was going to be my number one. That is definitely Fantasy 1. But Fantasy 2 would still be Boss Kirby, as she wore her blue skirt. It was like a light blue skirt, then a dark blue blazer with a polka dot pattern underneath.
Okay.
And that pattern won my heart.
Oh.
Kirby, we love you. Madison, call me. All right, let's get into some good predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We're getting to that. We're getting to the season finale. Season 2 is coming to a head, and so many things might be coming to a head with it. Maddie Pox, what are some of your predictions?
I don't want to say this, but I think someone's gonna die. Because that's what happened on
Who?
the last.
Who's gonna die?
On the last finale of season 1. Hopefully, Adam. I don't know. No,
Adam cannot die. Adam is the best part of the show.
He can't.
He is the X
hopefully not
factor.
Liam. You know what? I'm thinking something bad's gonna happen, and I'm scared to see the finale.
I'm excited to see this finale. I think that we are going to get Culhane going down, Blake coming out scot-free. I think we're gonna get Kirby being the the X factor that no one's expecting because of her love for Culhane,
Right.
trying to figure it out, and now going on to that side of the Colby Culhane train. I think that Adam and Liam are going to have a showdown, and that Adam is going to do something to Liam. I think we're going to get a hint of Steven is going to return for season 3.
Oh, he better.
I think we're also going to possibly get an Alexis sighting, because remember, she's off with a new
Yeah.
face, and maybe we get a hint of who she is.
Yeah.
I think Anders' hospitalization is going to bring the family together while also tearing it apart because of everything else that's going on. And I also think we find out what the truth is about Dominique and Blake.
Hopefully.
Those are my
and
predictions.
Hopefully Fallon finds out about all the stuff going on with Blake and the FBI, because she's in the dark right now, obviously. So hopefully she finds out.
Or hopefully she never does, but until then, where can people find you if you want to be found? Maddie Potts.
I'm on Instagram at Maddie Pox. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. Can't wait for the season finale.
Right, and I am Tehran all across the board. That's at IAMTHRAN. And also find me hosting a slew of AfterBuzz after shows and paneling on them as well, because all of your favorite TV programs are my favorite TV programs as well. Until next week, where we talk so much Dynasty because we're getting to that season finale, so you're gonna want to be here with us. We will see you then. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.